Bavaria Nordic. Let's bring in Tom Hayes, chairman of Great Hill Capital in New York. I'm just looking at a graph of Bavarian Nordic's share price, up over 26% in 5 days. And I suppose that's a reminder of what happened in the pandemic, Tom, isn't it? That difficult times for many people, but for some pharmaceutical companies, it can lead to a lot of growth.
Yeah, there's no question about it. You definitely get the pop on the approval. The question is the durability of that pop being sustained. We all remember Pfizer coming out with the first vaccine for COVID, and the stock had a huge run. Now it can't get out of its own way for the last few years. Same thing with Moderna was going to change the world, and it was the hottest flying stock during COVID, and it's since collapsed and is trying to find its way. So this is all good news. Anytime you have constructive, efficacious drugs that are approved to help people, it's a positive thing. But as far as durability, you have to measure it over time.
Yep, let us see what happens there. Today's Tom Hayes still with us. We had some important figures out, didn't we, today, Tom, on U.S. retail sales. What did they tell us?
Well, when the music is playing, you have to get up and dance. And that's what we saw in the U.S. stock market today after the retail sales numbers came in, up 1% month on month versus 0.4% estimated, and negative 0.2% last time we got that number. And year on year, retail sales were up 2.66% versus 2.04% the last time. Why is this so important? It's important because people were worried that we were going toward a hard landing after the jobs report this month and some of the inflation numbers showing slowing. So it shows that the retail consumer is still alive, but not so alive that the Fed is not going to cut. So it's the best of both worlds. We got Goldilocks numbers today for sure.
Okay. And, you know, that Fed cut, if it happens in September, the U.S. Central Bank cutting interest rates there, is it going to be 0.25% or 0.5%?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. It should be 0.5%. They're 200 basis points too restrictive, meaning the Fed funds rate is 5.3 and change. Inflation is about 3%. So they're over 200 basis points too restrictive. They should go 50. They're probably going to go 25 just to get it started. They probably don't want to shock things right before the election as well with the political considerations. The key is to get started. They can always ramp it up in December.
Tom, thanks very much for that. You're with World Business Report here from the BBC World Service. The US